This is Neo Planet S spawning up in the top right-hand position. The blue Zerg from Samsung Khan, one of the newer players, recent qualifier or qualify for Code A. It is hOpe.
His opponent playing for KT Roaster, spawning as a red Protoss on the bottom left side of Neo Planet S. His name is Zest.
Alright, so Zest sending out his probe. So the pylon there, sending out the scout. Very common opening on this map. Of course, this is Neo Planet S. And looks like we have some young kids here coming to share on KT Roaster for Pro League. And some cute girls as well.
I'm surprised they didn't hide their face.
They're like, I know we look good today, so we don't have to hide our faces. I'm pretty sure that's what they're thinking right now.
Well, most of them, well, half of them get embarrassed that they're on the camera, and the other half know that if they're Yongsan, their parents are gonna ground them. So it's like it works both ways. I have to say, it's like half people they don't want to show their faces, and other half of the people, they know that they'll get in trouble if they show their faces, so they can't show the faces.
Yeah, of course they're a little bit afraid to show their faces because they're skipping school to watch Pro League. So obviously that's not the best thing to do, but gotta say, if you really want to support your teams and cheer them on, then I guess more power to skipping school.
Well, today is Saturday, of course, so... I mean, Saturday. Well, there is school on Saturday sometimes. I don't know if they still do it anymore, because when I was little, I used to stay in school on Saturdays until like 12 o'clock, which is different from U.S. education system.
That's true. You know what? I bet they do that. I wouldn't be surprised. Of course, Roro and Flash, the two probably most respected aces for each team at this point.
And possibly we could see an ace match between them on Admiral and Flax.
That would be quite exciting to see. We actually did see a bit of a show match between those players during the SK Planet the special, which aired over the break when Heart of the Storm was pretty new. So right now it looks like our PT player, of course that's Zest. He's opening up very standard here. He's getting his Nexus Forge up. And also it looks like hOpe, he's opening up very standard as well. Only making a pair of links, so playing pretty darn economic.
Oh yeah, going for the cannon first, knowing that the Zerglings might hit in time, because there's two ways to do it. You could either go for the gateway first and then the cannon, or a cannon and then the gateway. I don't think the timing mattered that much, but nonetheless, there's only two Zerglings by hOpe, and it's not going to bother Zest at all at this point. Behind it, he is getting a third base.
Exactly, so hOpe, of course, playing very, very straight up greedy play. He's not making any more than a pair of Zerglings just to make sure that your book can really third base there, or can it up. And also, Zest just playing very solid as well. So really nothing special to note here. I actually love the position of Zest's probe over there near one of the potential third bases.
Definitely.
He's going to use that to scout later to make sure that his opponent goes first to third base.
Oh yeah, you always want to hide the probe somewhere around the map if you want to go for the scout. Look at this play. I mean, Zest, he's not showing any probe moving around the map, and he also knows that there's an overlord over there, so if he moves out with one probe, that tips off hOpe that, you know, Zest is going to go for the scout. So he doesn't expect any probes around the map, possibly a proxy pylon, so that's why he's moving around the Zerglings, and now he is going to scout the probe. However, there's only one Zergling on this probe, so the probe will scout their base before it gets taken out.
Yep, no Zergling speed as well for the Zerg player, so he's just going to, you know, he'll eventually call off the probe, but he won't be able to snipe it off instantly.
Alright, so this is actually a OGN promotion, but here's a little quiz. There's the biggest win streak, or the longest win streak in Kespa matches is 15 wins, you know, between Pro League and Star League, and there's only two players who have it. One of the players' name is Effort. Who is the other player?
Can I answer this one?
If you want to. I mean, it's like it's a promotion, so you have to guess the answer correctly. But
is it Flash?
Well, I don't know the answer from the top of my head, so.
Okay. I thought he had up to 18 wins actually for the most. Maybe that was just in Pro League.
Yeah.
The only other player I can think of that would have potentially done it would potentially, I guess, Bisu.
Not really.
Okay. Well, we do have the robotics tech going down for our KT player, also getting the sentry and the +1 weapons. What do you think this could be here?
It only points to one thing.
looking like a Immortal Sentry all-in coming from Zest here. Looks like he wants to end this game early.
Well, the map is great for Immortal Sentry all-in push, but Zest, excuse me, not Zest, hOpe needs to scout, and he's making up to 5 more drones. He's getting a roach run, but once he smells the Immortal Sentry push, he needs to stop making drones, but no, he made extra 2 drones behind it. So he's gonna go way above the 55, 56 drone that he wants to have, and he needs to start saving up Larva if he wants to deny the push. Does he have any idea what Zest is going for?
Yeah, the gateways are going down, and the probes have been halted for production, so it does look like we will see this Sentry Immortal all-in from our Protoss player here. And like you said, you know, it looks like hOpe he hasn't really
Uh-oh, 5 extra drones coming by hOpe. This is a huge trouble once Zest decides to push out. Now, Parting did say in an interview that Immortal Sentry push all-in has been much stronger in the heart of the Swarm because of the addition of the Mothership Core. And now he has 6 roaches coming out, but the 3rd Immortal is already out on the way. We got the +1 already done, 3 more gates finishing up, and Zest is going to push out pretty soon.
Oh no, and we also see a Spore Crawler on the way here. It seems like hOpe has no idea what build's coming here. Now he is making some roaches.
Yeah, what hOpe is thinking that this is going to be a Stargate play in Phoenix into regular 3rd. He just has a complete misread on Zest's build, and now he sees some Immortals. He should be in panic mode.
This is definitely going to be panic mode for hOpe here. He's going to see this and be like, oh crap, there's 3 Immortals there. He's going to scout all of the gateways as well. With that Overseer, he's going to realize, uh-oh, there are no Phoenixes coming my way. The Spore Crawlers are useless. I made way too many drones now, and we can clearly see that hOpe, he's just making so many roaches right now. But at least he will have roach speed. He does have 22 roaches out actually right now. Not really any Zerglings, but it's really going to be up to Zest's force field micro to really, you know, make this effective.
Well, he's actually one of the better Protoss players, so I expect him to have phenomenal force field micro, but you can always butcher it at the last second, even if you are a pro gamer. So here comes the roaches, and the force field's going down.
Yeah, the force field trapping a few of those roaches there. There's still some in the back there. It looks like Zest, he's going to warp in a few more units before moving in here. Again, this is the perfect opportunity to get some more force fields off trapping. A good amount of roaches there, essentially killing them off for free. And now the roach count has dwindled down to 20, essentially killing off about 7 or 8 for free.
Yeah, behind it, since hOpe made so many drones, he still has pretty good economy, and now making a few Spore Crawlers. So now he's getting up to number of roaches where he wants to. Granted, he still needs to make sure that he doesn't headbutt too much. If not, the force field he got half of the army, and Zest can finish the game right away. Look at that, up to 14 sentries in this main army. That's a lot of sentries.
That is a scary amount of sentries for Zerg player. I would be freaking out over that number. And look at this, more good force fields going off, but it looks like a lot of those roaches are able to slip through that small hole in the force field wall there. Look at this, we even have a cannon near those pylons there. I guess so if the roaches decide to burrow, we know Zest, he has an answer for them. And it looks like we have potential surround here from the Zerg player, but if there's good force fields, then you know, that surround, it's not going to do too much damage.
He needs some answer against the Immortals. Granted, he is getting up to 48 roaches and turns around once again, but nice force fields going off, trapping up to 7 roaches.
Yeah, all of those roaches going to go down almost immediately for free. It seems like Zest is just waiting for hOpe to push in just a little bit too much so he can punish him and use those force fields to block off units. And I have to say, this is one of the slowest Immortal Sentry all-ins I've seen from the Protoss player.
I wouldn't say the slowest, because hOpe has been doing a really nice job trying to scare his opponent, showing, you know, acting like he has more roaches than he actually has, and slowing down Zest's push. Granted, he's now getting into position, and now the force field's going off.
Force fields going down here. We have a lot of roaches. There's 40 total from hOpe, and he's doing his best here with the force fields from Zest. They're just a little bit too good here, and I think that it. This third base is going to go down. More good force fields trapping so many of those roaches there. That third base is going to go down for good.
Seems like he actually turned around the roaches to the left side, but no, he's going to have to sacrifice a base. So what is Hope going to do? Is he going to save his base, or is he going to go for a counterattack?
Yeah, it looks like we have a counterattack up here, but smartly, Zest, he has a few cannons there at the main base, but, you know, that's still a pretty high roach count, and this is the roach damage. It looks like it's going to be able to do a lot of damage, but also Zest at the front line of his opponent's base at the natural out. More good force fields going down, trapping more of those roaches, and I feel like this is a last-ditch attempt for Hope. I think that Zest is going to be able to break through here.
Oh yeah, even if Hope takes down the natural and starts taking down the gateways, the DPS, well, hold on a second, we don't have that many sentries in this main army, which means that there's no more force field, so now he needs to micro his immortals perfectly, and he does so in the last second.
Yeah, the biggest problem for Hope here is that there are 3 immortals still on the battlefield, and it looks like Zest, he's doing really good with his micro there. We have, I believe, 1 immortal is still in the warp prison there, 1 is taken down now, so it's only 2 left at this point here, but the problem is there are just no more units left for Hope at his main base.
Well, there's no more units left back at Zest's base also, but Hope he has more DPS and he can take down the layer much faster. It's 25 probes to 15 drones. He's trying to make emergency spy crawlers, but that is not going to be enough.
Fortunately, it won't be, and you know, if you also look at the amount of minerals that Zest has, he still has a good amount here. He will eventually lose the economy in his main base, but these armies, they're going to eventually have to fight, and when they do fight, Zest has a humongous advantage. And there's nothing that those 10 roaches can do against the Immortal Zealot Sentry combo that Zest has.
I think Hope is actually going for base trade. Like he's not gonna GG out of the game until he has no more buildings left.
Look at that, the Mothership Core at the main base. Actually, a little bit of a mistake by Zest not attacking those roaches there.
Well, he doesn't really need to focus at this point because he still has 415 minerals. He can make a base inside Hope's main base, and you know there's no way that Hope can actually engage in here.
There's actually only 1 more drone left for Hope, but
he has no more bases.
He has no more bases, and he actually doesn't have enough minerals to remake a hatchery.
That one for Spell Caller.
Yeah, that will probably eventually be the last building left for Hope. It's Hope's last hope, essentially.
GG.
Alright, so the first game goes to Zest over Hope. A very well executed Immortal Sentry all-in. Zest really showing so much patience there and really getting that Sentry up to a ludicrous number. He had 15 at the height there.
And some players, they use the force field too early in the push, and eventually when the Zerg players decide to slow around, they don't have any more force fields left. So Zest using the time ability to slow down some of the roaches and just scaring off his opponent when he was trying to go for his round, and not using a single force field unless he knew that he was going to trap a good number of roaches.
Exactly, the force field usage there was quite excellent, I have to say. So, of course, the score is currently 1-0. KT Wilster leading over Samsung Han. The next matchup is going to be Solar versus Crazy on Whirlwind. We will be back.
Yes, we will be back.
Okay, we will be back after this quick commercial break.